It is 3 o'clock on my Swatch Watch, and we can't be late because we got a date with Sunny TV right here on the show that's on in the afternoon. All the cool kids out there, all the Sunnies in the Sunnyverse, we know it as Afternoon Delight. That's right. And my co-host Mel is in studio, ready to unpack all the shenanigans that we have in store for you today. We got a pop culture Thunderdome quiz. What is it? What's the theme today?
Scandalous business collapses.
Ooh, another good one.
I love this stuff.
People loved the abandoned house quiz yesterday. That was good. We may have to do another one of those.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Boat Drinks, Meme It or Leave It. I've got a funny one leading off with Mel today. It's going to be hysterical. And then, of course, we have a Addie's Reddit rundown report. We have a sister scandal.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Did she sleep with the man? We will find out, honey. We're going to unpack that. And then, of course, Mel sent over 3 news stories. We're going to be the judge and the jury to actually tell you, is it news or is it not news? We're going to see. We're going to find out. And then we'll finish off today with horrible horoscopes. Sagittarius and Capricorn are on deck today. That means my mom and my sister. Cannot wait to read them for filth every Thursday. Always special. All right, Mel, can we get some pop culture Thunderdome music, please?
Scandalous business collapse.
Scandalous.
Like that.
All right, first question. The 2001 collapse of energy giant Enron also destroyed which Big Five accounting firm that had signed off on its crooked books? Is it A, Deloitte, or is it B, Arthur Andersen? Is it C, KPMG, or was it D, Ernst and Young?
B, Arthur Andersen.
Okay. Next up, question 2. What business was Enron in before its spectacular fraud collapse? Was it airlines? Was it energy? Was it fast food? Or was it toys?
Energy.
Yeah, have you read question 1? Question 3. Theranos promised revolutionary blood tests. Oh, I saw this documentary. From just a few drops, and was famously turtleneck-wearing founder and CEO. What was her name? Was it Marissa Mayer? Was it Elizabeth Holmes? Was it Sheryl Sandberg? Or was it Martha Stewart?
Elizabeth Holmes. B.
Next up, question 4. WorldCom's 2002 downfall was at the time the largest blank in U.S. history. Was it bank robbery? Was it accounting fraud? Was it lottery payout? Or was it corporate merger?
Accounting fraud.
So dramatic over here. Question 5. FTX, which imploded spectacularly in 2022 under Sam Bankman-Fried, was a company that traded in what? Oil, cryptocurrency, real estate, or sneakers?
Cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Question 6. Bernie Madoff's investment firm collapsed in 2008 after being exposed as the largest blank in history. Was it a bank? Was it a Ponzi scheme? Was it a hedge fund? Or was it a casino?
Ponzi scheme.
Question 7. The Enron scandal inspired a famous documentary titled Enron, the smartest guys in the blank. Is it the world? Is it the room? Is it the building? Or is it the market? On my Swatch, what we have, and then of course Mel sent over 3 news stories. We're going to be the judge and the jury to actually tell you, is it news or is it not news? We're going to see. We're going to find out. And then we'll finish off today with horrible horoscopes. Sagittarius and Capricorn are on deck today. That means my mom. Next up, question 4. WorldCom's 2002 downfall was at the time the largest blank in U.S. history. Was it bank robbery? Was it accounting fraud? Was it lottery payout? Or was it corporate merger?
Accounting fraud.
So dramatic over here. Question 5. FTX, which imploded spectacularly in 2022 under Sam Bankman-Fried, was a company that traded in what? Oil, cryptocurrency, real estate, or sneakers.
Cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Question 6. Bernie Madoff's investment firm
Jesus.
collapsed in 2008 after being exposed as the largest blank in history. Was it a bank? Was it a Ponzi scheme? Was it a hedge fund? Or was it a casino?
Ponzi scheme.
Question 7. The Enron scandal inspired a famous documentary titled Enron, the smartest guys in the blank. Is it the world? Is it the room? Is it the building? Or is it the market?
Room. Stop it.
Question 8. Elizabeth Holmes and the Theranos Downfall became a TV series starring Amanda Seyfried called what?
Oh, shit. What was
The
the name of that?
Dropout? The We Crashed? Was it Super Pumped? Or was it Inventing Anna?
I can't remember. Inventing Anna was the one who. No, that's
so
not
you
her.
can eliminate that one.
I think it's We Crashed. I'm saying B.
Okay. You don't want to do Baby Thunderdome?
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna say
All
B.
right. Question 9. Purdue Pharma filed for bankruptcy amid a massive scandal from which addictive drug?
Oh shoot, that's not documentary. It was really good. It's
Was it
Oxycontin.
aspirin, Oxycontin, insulin, or penicillin?
It's Oxycontin. You got to watch a documentary on it. It's deeply disturbing,
Okay.
and I hope that family goes straight to hell.
The 2008 collapse of which 150-plus-year-old investment bank helped trigger the global financial crisis? Was it Goldman Sachs? Was it Lehman Brothers? Was it Morgan Stanley? Or was it Chase?
I think it's Goldman Sachs. Stop.
All right, let me go get the answer, Kate.
Scandal, scandal. I love a good scandal. Business.
Business. White-collar crimes, I think they call them that.
Yeah, they call them that.
All right, the first one, Enron's auditor. Who was it?
Arthur Anderson.
Correct. Enron's auditor has approved its misleading books and then shredded documents. The once giant firm was found guilty of extortion, later overturned, but the damage was done and it collapsed, taking tens of thousands of jobs with it. All right, what was Enron involved with?
Energy.
Correct. This was Houston Energy Trading Company holding more than $60 billion in assets, and it used shady shell companies to hide debt and fake profits. Interesting. Next up, what was her name?
Elizabeth Holmes.
Correct. She claimed her company could run 1,000 medical tests on a few drops of blood. It couldn't. She was convinced of convicted of fraud in 2022 and sentenced more than 11 years in prison. All right, next up, WorldCom overstated its assets. What were they doing?
Accounting fraud.
Correct. By more than $11 billion. The
I'm
biggest.
glad I'm broke and don't have these kind
We
of
don't have to deal with more money, more problems, what
Yeah.
they say. All right, what was Sam Beekman-Fried involved with?
Cryptocurrency.
Correct. FTX was a huge crypto exchange. He lost about $8 billion
Bye.
and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. All right. Ponzi scheme is the next answer. Sorry about that. B, Madoff's decades-long fraud paid old investors and new investors money, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
Pyramid
geez.
scheme, always crazy. All right. What was the word? Smartest guys
Room.
in the room. Good is stuck with the acclaimed documentary about the whole mess, and the title stuck as shorthand for corporate arrogance. All right. Amanda Seyfried won an Emmy playing Elizabeth Holmes. What was it called?
We crashed.
Wrong.
Super pumped.
Wrong.
The Dropout.
Yes. The others are real shows about other scandals.
Yeah.
WeWork, Uber, and Anna DeLevy.
whatever.
She was
she was that
fascinating
socialite.
character. She
Whack job.
bullshitted her way right into those offices. All right. Purdue Pharma.
Oxycontin.
Yeah, the
You guys gotta
opioid
watch that freaking-
opioid painkiller, right? Opioid
I will
painkiller.
never take Oxycontin or Oxycodone. I don't care
No,
how
me
much pain I'm
neither.
in.
Yeah. Next up, the 150-year-old bank's failure.
Goldman Sachs.
No.
Morgan Stanley.
No.
Oh, Lehman Brothers.
Yes.
Oh,
The
jeez.
150-year-old bank's 2008 failure was the largest bankruptcy.
80.
Okay, it's a B. I thought you'd be better, but we'll take the B,
There
and
you
we'll
go.
go to Capybara and be free.
Looking for your wild side with a gentle twist, Sonnies? Say hello to the Capybara Cafe, Florida's most unforgettable animal experience. Get up close and personal with capybaras, reptiles, and the cutest exotic creatures around, all while learning, laughing, and making a real impact. Every visit supports animal shelters, provides sustainability, and delivers educational magic for the whole fam. So don't just scroll, scurry over to thecapybaracafe.com and book your encounter now. the Capybara Cafe, where curiosity lives and your wild heart gets to roam.
Oh, God, we are back. Awesome.
Here we go.
It's time for Boat Drinks, Meme It or Leave It. This first one, this is for Mel. Imagine you get murdered and some girl skips your episode for Forensic Files because it's boring.
I'm haunting her. You put my show back on. I will leave it on that channel permanently.
Right. Next up, I hate when something doesn't open until 10 o'clock. Bitch, I've been up since 6 a.m.
Yeah.
waiting.
True
Come
story.
on.
That's so annoying.
Next up, you only live once. And thank God.
That's true.
Next up, when you
Aw.
accidentally block an intersection and everyone is staring at you, I
Yeah,
hate that.
And you're like looking forward, like,
Oh, I hate that moment.
like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I made a bad
It's my
choice. I'm
fault.
so sorry. Next up, I want iPhone to notify people when I block them,
Yeah.
like read receipts blocked at 3:26
yeah,
p.m.
you know what? Yes.
Yeah.
I want them to know, like, I'm done with you.
I think that's hysterical.
I love that.
Next up, I feel a spark between us, and then there's me putting out the fire.
Watering can.
Next up, some of you don't go insane at 15, and it shows.
Yeah.
Some of you didn't go insane at 15,
boring.
and it shows. Yeah, you're very
Boring.
blah, blah. Next up, any thoughts? No thanks. I'm trying to cut back. Aww.
That dog is just vibes.
Next up, he calls you a princess but leaves you on red. Okay, Cinderella.
I love that. I'm going to use that now.
Next up,
Last one.
how it feels when your intuition was right and you actually not insane.
That's me every day.
Oh.
That looks like your reel from yesterday with the lasers
Oh,
behind
that's
it.
right, my lasers. Pew pew over to boat drinks.
Somewhere between lunch and legend, there's a place where the day slips off its mundane. Helmed by Captain Rob and Captain Whitney, part hosts, part legends, part beautifully orchestrated icons. This isn't just a bar, it's a daytime escape portal for people who refuse to live boring lives. Boat Drinks Bar is the vibe to thrive, to stay alive. You didn't plan to stay all afternoon, but Boat Drinks has never been concerned with your plans. Find your escape in Uptown St. Augustine, 123 San Marco Avenue, where the afternoons arrive fashionably late and leave comfortably transformed. Boat Drinks.
All right.
Oh, we're back. We're back with
Yes.
the Reddit Rundown Report. We
Unpack
have
it.
best of Redditor updates today.
Yay.
The TLDR. My sister is threatening to tell my family and boyfriend that I slept with her fiance. We're talking about Opie is a 24-year-old female and the sister's 29. Here we go. I have a sister who has been in a relationship for 3 years. She got engaged in February 2025. They rented a small apartment in our city. However, she has been staying at our parents' recently due to the fight that started this. I am still a student who's living at home while finishing my master's degree. I have a boyfriend of 2 years, and we're currently doing a long-distance thing as he is studying abroad. A little bit of backstory. Me and my sister do not get along. I have AUDHD, and my sister has ADHD, the hyperactive type. She has always been the comedian of the family, but often her jokes come out at the expense of others, and it involves winding people up or acting as a wooden spoon to stir up any pot of drama that she can find. I tend to not initiate contact with her to avoid any potential issues since she is family. I feel more stressed after spending time together. Me and my sister's fiance get along really well, actually. We have shared interest in motorsports, and we usually talk about it at family get-togethers. We don't talk outside of gatherings much, just the occasional text when F1 or MotoGP is running, or little updates if we haven't seen each other in a while. My parents have previously said they find it odd how I'm fine with talking to her fiance, but have a weird aversion to talking to her directly, but this has never been a point of tension. Back to recent times, a little over a month ago, my sister found a bank statements in their apartment for cards that she didn't know existed. Most of the transaction had been to hotels or restaurants abroad. She checked the dates of the restaurants and they line up with the times and countries he had been away for work trips, but the exact restaurant and hotel locations do not add up. Example, him going way away from the conference, but the hotel and the restaurants he booked were at least an hour away from the city. That's a little fishy. She immediately thought he was cheating and searched his phone, but found nothing. He caught her snooping, and then they thought about it, which ended up him admitting that he had cheated while abroad. The wedding is off, and she moved back into our parents' house while they figure out their lease. The weekend after she came back to our parents' house, we went out for dinner as they thought she could use a pick-me-up evening with the whole family. Over dinner, we talked a lot about our recent life events, other than my sister's fight, and travel got brought up. I had traveled to Singapore in September 2025 to visit friends and relive our undergraduate clubbing days. My parents wanted to plan a trip to Singapore, and I recommended the hotel I stayed in, plus a few nice food spots around the area. In hindsight, my sister was uncharacteristically silent after this, but the rest of the dinner went by pretty normally. 2 days ago, my sister invited me to go out to dinner that evening, saying that she has something serious that she wants to talk to me about without worrying our parents. That was very out of ordinary for her. We've gone out to dinner with just the two of us maybe once or twice when I was probably 15, but this whole situation was hardly ordinary either, so I didn't question it. The dinner hardly had any talking. Right after we ordered our drink, she accused me of sleeping with her fiancé and being one of the women he was cheating on her with. She pulled up the bank statements for me to check, and sure enough, there are transactions for the same hotel in the same week I was in Singapore, the one I mentioned to our parents. She accused me of being jealous of her relationship, saying that I was bitter that she got proposed to within 2 years of them starting to date, and that I clearly thought I was a better match for her fiance since we had more hobbies and interests in common. We literally only have one. There was a lot of back and forth of me trying to reason with her and get any sort of exact detail or legitimate proof that could have caused her to think this. But by this point, she was livid. The whole thing escalated from 0 to 100 within like 15 minutes. I'm definitely missing a few details of her accusations. There were a lot of them. But the main threat was that she was to tell my parents and my boyfriend I was a bitter, lying homewrecker, her exact words, if I didn't come clean. How on earth is someone meant to navigate this situation? I think it goes without saying that I never cheated, and I definitely not with her fiance, but how does someone begin to plead their innocence in a situation like this? I have no witnesses. For me, when I was in Singapore, I was visiting friends, yes, but I stayed in my hotel every night. They all live in different areas, and the hotel was pretty central. Both sides of this case have basically no firm evidence other than a few bills. On top of this, how would I even begin to manage the fallout if she were to tell people this? Long distance is hard enough as it is. I can't imagine how shattered my boyfriend would be if he was told that I cheated with a man that he considered a friend. Any advice would be massively appreciated. I will update this post if I have more information to answer any common questions.
Wow.
Right. Extra info before you start motor mouthing. Here we go.
Right, here we go.
There was a 3-day overlap in dates. I arrived on Tuesday and left on Sunday. The statements show charges from Friday until sometime the week after. I don't remember the exact day. I just know that it was after I left. Boyfriend has been told, by the way, this is the first edit, I will post a formal update tomorrow once I have spoken to my parents about this as to not spam the subreddit, blah, blah, blah. So there's the basic gist.
Yeah, this is tricky.
Notable comments. Hey, just saying is saying it's a massive coincidence that you just wouldn't stay in the exact hotel her boyfriend stayed on the same dates that he was there.
But what if it's like a hotel that, like, when everybody goes into that town, they all stay there?
Singapore.
Yeah.
Think
what
about
if it's like a...
It's not. I'm going to say Singapore is a huge city.
Maybe it's like the best hotel and a lot of people like it. I don't know.
That could be. That could be. I don't know how wealthy these people are. This is a hard one to disprove if you're doing this things with your friends on the evening. So maybe come up with those receipts of saying like, hey, I was at Club Bar 9 at ba 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 bing.
Right.
I mean, that's the only way she's going to dig herself. She is literally in a trench that she did not put herself in.
At the same point, if you know you didn't do it and you know you're not in the wrong, like, why are you going to go to the trouble to pull up all these receipts and stuff? Like, I would just be like, I didn't do it. If you didn't believe me, I'm telling you the truth, and I don't know what to tell you.
So Opie responds to that, and she says, agreed. I was really shocked when she showed me the bank statement. The dates had a 3-day overlap. We were both in the same hotel, though I never saw him or knew he was even there. Right. I was talking about how I planned this trip for at least a month beforehand, though. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping my parents aren't too old that they remember me asking about flights and travel restrictions. I don't go abroad often, but my mom has traveled a lot there for work, so she's my go-to for travel advice. Proof from the evenings. I do have photos from the nights out with my friends that prove that I was with them basically every evening, but those photos dwindle in numbers the later each night got. I will have to ask my friends if any of them can vouch if that they dropped me off at the hotel, as they would disprove any restaurant charges. However, the issue of being in the same hotel rears its head again here, since they could always argue I went back to his room instead of mine. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because the friends are just dropping you off the front door. Mm-hmm. See you later, Becky. Ba ba ba. And then she goes up and she rides the hobby horse. Okay. DCage55 says, when you went in your hotel room, did you open the door at any point? If not, you may get the hotel to provide you a key card usage for those 3 days. Easier than surveillance footage. Of course, if you left your room to get ice or some other innocuous reason, that won't help. Opie says, I'm literally drafting up an email to the hotel as I type this. I was about to ask about surveillance footage, but this had just given me a new idea. Thank you. Honestly, that's probably a good idea. She needs any kind of assistance on this. The sister's about to go, crazy over this. Tumbly Bump has a comment here. Context is everything. If you live in Hong Kong or Australia and all have busy professional lives, I can believe it. If you're from Dublin, New York City, or London and lives that doesn't require, require travel, it just gets a bit harder. They're all London based, so we got that there. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's go to the update. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, give me the update because this is bananas.
Okay, update next day. Here we go.
All right.
Oh, okay, she's warning. It's a very long post. Okay, here we go. First, I'd like to say a huge thank you. I don't need to do that. I tried to respond to everybody, blah, blah, blah. I had a few people messaging me personally offering support or saying that I'm not wrong. While I appreciate this, please do not DM me personally about this. I may ask you to DM and reach out to out on my own, but if you have advice you would like to offer, I implore you to post it in the comments, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she's very long-winded. I wish a world worked like this. Well, yes, the most logical way. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me here. I video called. Here we go. I video called my boyfriend. Going to call him Ken in this post. Last night, after reading through you guys' comments and advice, many of you suggested I get in front of this as fast as possible and do not let her direct the narrative. So that's what I tried to do. Tried is the key word here. We chatted for a bit about normal stuff before I said we should talk about my sister's situation. Ken's facial expression visibly changed when I mentioned this. I asked what was up. He said that she messaged him some pretty weird stuff earlier that day about her ex and me. For context, Ken knows that me and my sister have a pretty complex relationship. He knows that me and the ex talk occasionally. He encouraged all four of us to hang out sometimes, but this only happened a few times and stopped once he left for his year abroad. I asked Ken what he had been told, and he said, paraphrase from memory as I do not know the exact words, but he said, I got a text from her a while I was out saying that she needed to talk to me about our relationship. She said our relationship was doomed because she caught you cheating with her fiance and that you didn't even try to defend yourself. You kept focusing on irrelevant. Thank you. Details. When it was clear you two were in the hotel together in Singapore. I know you and your sister don't get along, but I never got the impression you two hated each other enough for her to lie about cheating. So I don't know where to go from here. I was floored. As I mentioned in a comment on a previous post, Ken is similar to me in that he puts logical reasoning before extremities. He asked if I had anything to say about it. I gave him the rundown of my point of view in chronological order, starting from when I was booking the holiday back in August 2025. I backed it up with receipts, screen shares, bank statements, and relevant times and photos and timestamps from nights out with friends. Somebody suggested in the last post that I have as many receipts as possible. That would be me too, since it helps build a routine and a picture of your day for people. Since almost everything costs money these days, you can track your movement. Okay. I did this before I called and made sure I had everything I might need in hand. I also got a few of my friends on text saying they know I was waking up in my own hotel room since they had to call through the hotel reception to wake me up a few times. The whole thing took 45 minutes, of which he stayed relatively silent aside from an occasional question to make sure that he was understanding all the links that I was drawing up. By the end of it, I was on the brink of tears, mostly because it took saying it all out loud and realizing how effed up the whole guilty until proven innocent thing is. Kent bluntly asked if I had cheated, and I answered, no, never. He took a minute and said that he trusted me, which was a huge weight off my shoulders. He asked what could have made my sister think I cheated. And I said, I don't know, but I thought she was just hurt and looking for someone to pin the blame on so she could vent her anger somewhere. He said that made sense, but he didn't understand how she drew these conclusions or how she pieced them together from a single hotel name drop. I asked what he meant. He said, there's been at least 3 Shangri-La hotels or apartment blocks in Singapore. And he didn't understand how she knew that I stayed at the exact hotel. I didn't really have an answer to that, actually. I didn't have a copy of a bank statement, and I didn't note down the exact recipient of the statement she waved in my face. So she's saying that there's other Shangri-Las.
Well, yeah, just like the Omni hotels in the Westons.
Correct. Yeah.
She just saw the name and was like, you stayed at the same hotel.
Ken's not such a hat rack. He's actually pretty smart here. Okay. I also said she could still argue I visited his room or he visited mine, which ended that speculation. I offered to ask to see the bank statement again.
Look at the address.
But he shut me down and said he would ask since she doesn't know we've spoken yet. Oh, so he's going to go back to the sister and say, I want to see the receipts that you have.
Yeah, let me see the address of the hotel.
He messaged her last night, and she apparently responded saying that she would send him everything in the morning, which should have been before this update was written. But I haven't heard anything from him, so I suspect that this hasn't happened. The rest of the call was a lot of questions and not a lot of definite answers. He appreciates that I spoke to him about it and stayed calm instead of spiraling, as it helped him stay calm too. I sent him the post I made to ask if he was okay and with me updating with our conversation, which he said was fine and he would like to see what people have to say, so I slept pretty well after that. On to this morning. Both my parents were home today, so I offered to cook breakfast as to hope we could still all sit down and open up a chance for me to address my sister's case. I suspected that since she told Ken that she most certainly told our parents too. However, when I started to explain myself, I got cut off almost as soon as I mentioned the Singapore trip. My parents told me that they have already heard my sister's half of the story in full detail. No surprise there. My mom, who for context has a higher IQ than my dad, so I generally takes charge in these kinds of situations and conversations. She said that while they believe they raised me better than to do something like this, she was not going to let me plead my case to them, as I was clearly in a better state of mind about it, whereas my sister was torn apart. She said my sister was sensitive, and she would think that her own parents didn't believe her or care about her hurting. My dad chimed in saying that she already has a slight resentment towards me because I was praised more when we were young. Context marked a little bit below. I'll explain later. And he wouldn't get involved because he also refused to openly support me in a time where she needed to see she was supported and loved. To say I was blindsided was an understatement. The entire time they were talking on and on and on about how they didn't want to take sides. They were openly allying with her notion.
They picked their side.
They were allying with her notion that I cheated with her fiance. The hypocrisy was brutal. I said all of this directly to them, calling out the contradiction and saying that if they didn't take my side, but openly comforted my sister, everybody we knew would draw the same conclusion that I cheated and that my parents were being charitable, not reprimanding me further. My mom said that if I was able to prepare all of this evidence and create my defense, this was proof that my mental clarity was leagues above my sister's and that she needed them more. I left after that. I went for a ride on my motorbike and stayed out of the house for a couple of hours and took a breather. Context? You want context of the background?
Yeah.
My parents both come from poor backgrounds. My mom came to the UK with refugee status, and my dad's father died when he was very young. Both of them are incredibly well off thanks to their education. As a product of this, academia is very important in our household. I was diagnosed with ADHD in the summer of year 10, secondary school. For those that don't know, year 11 has students' first major set of national exams called GCSES, whatever, which started blah, 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 blah. My sister comparatively never struggled with her studies. My parents praised me a lot more than they praised her, even though I did significantly less work, since an effort of 1% is in infinite times greater than 0%. This apparently caused some jealousy, and she did not get the same treatment from them, despite putting all of her loads in more effort, since she was considered the normal child. Okay. So there's that. People were right in saying that it was going to get messy and there was going to be a large chance that I would walk away from this with fewer people behind me than before. Ken is conflicted about my parents' approach as he understands comforting the child who was cheated on, but doesn't imagine parents setting aside one daughter for the other. He's an only child, so he never really had an issue with parents, prioritizing one kid or the other. My sister will be cut off for good from me once all this is over, but for now, I need to focus on clearing my name, so I don't know who else she may have told. I will not be cutting off my parents, so don't suggest that. However, I will be distancing myself and looking to moving out in June after my degree is over. Any advice on managing the parents or the fallout is much appreciated. However, I do not think my parents' viewpoint will change until my sister comes to terms with all this. I will update if anything new happens. Whew, got it done.
I think she should just take a break from all of them. And at the end of the day, if these are like family members and people who know you, if you have to go to that extent to get that kind of proof, screw that.
It's very excessive.
The sister did this on purpose.
But if you got to think of it, this family was it was almost like Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like a lump of coal, you shove it up his ass, and in 2 weeks you get a diamond. Like, they were very kind of rigid kind of family. They were very into the studies and making sure everything. So here's this big fallout, and now they're only picking one side. That's kind of crazy to me. I feel bad for the Opie on this because her family basically just turned her back for
the deal on this, and
she really did.
And first of all, if it's that kind of city and there's like 5 different hotels with the same name, get the address. It'll prove it right there. But I would not have gone to those lengths to get proof. I'd be like, either you do or you don't believe me. Like, I'm not playing this game.
Right.
And cut the ties with the sister, because it seems like from day one with the sister, there's always a problem. And then your family, put some distance.
I think that's the only way that's for healing is going to happen here. If distance, like
well, and whether she wants to admit it or not, her relationship with her parents is now tarnished. So,
and I'm not really convinced on Ken either. I feel like he's a little bit wishy-washy on this too.
I feel like he doesn't know what to think. He's a boy.
But would you feel that way on this situation?
What do you mean? Like,
how would you act if one of your sisters came to you in this kind of situation?
My sisters would never do this.
I understand, but like, you know what I mean? Like, how would you act in this situation?
I would be like, if you don't believe what I'm saying, I'm not going to go call hotels and get security footage. It's not like I committed a murder.
But she felt so desperate in that moment, being like, I did not do this.
You're gonna get pulled into their crazy. Mm-hmm. You're getting pulled. You're exactly where your sister wants you in this game she's producing.
Yeah,
she wants you to be part of her circus.
It's like a player.
So by you trying to get all this information, she's just made you as crazy as her.
Yeah, Long Jumping Law 6886 says something doesn't add up. Yeah. I mean, how on earth does she randomly choose the same week to go on a trip with the same country with her sister's fiance and the same hotel? Coincidence? Like I said, something feels off given the context. Funny they were staying in the same hotel and never bumped into each other during breakfast or dinner or anything like that.
If the hotel's big, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, But everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, there's something funky though in this one, right? There's definitely more. I don't know. It just circumstances and coincidences add up to something, right?
I think the sister set her up.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Oh, you think she set her up?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we got to go to Panache.
Yes.
Every guest, every time. Since 1987, Panache opened its doors to be a cut above the rest. Their mission at Panache is to care for their team, their guests, and community from scalp to soul and bring the joy to the world one service at a time. The Panache difference is their carefully chosen and highly trained staff there to exceed your expectations. The same goes for their elegant salon space, dedicated to guest comfort and devotion to innovation and artistry. They're focused on making your day and continually raising the bar by aligning with Aveda's mission. You gotta get Panache.com and get with it, boo.
All right, now it's time to get into Is This News? We
Let's
got
go.
3 news stories here. We're going to bust a move here. Here we go. Here's what we've got. There's this one's called The Man Who Gave It All Away. There's a gentleman called Eddie Smith Jr. who ran a company called Grady White Boats out of North Carolina. And here's what he did. 58 years ago, he found that the company nearly bankrupt and is about to go under. So he borrowed some money, took it over, and then he worked. And I mean, he worked 80 to 100 hours a week for 58 years. He gave up golf, his favorite thing to do in the world, for over 30 years to save his company. And he turned that dying little business into a company pulling in over $100 million a year. So here's this story about a guy who worked really, really hard and got really, really rich. Congratulations to him. But is a successful businessman actually news?
He got nearly $500 million to sell his company. $500 million with a B. Most folks would grab that check and sail into the sunset, but this man said, no, thank you. He turned it down. Instead, he signed his whole company over to a special trust.
Oh.
So that from now on, the profits go to charity.
Oh!
Uh-huh.
Now the story gets
Forever.
better.
He turned his life's work into a money machine for goodness. So that's not just news.
Wow. Okay.
That's a hero.
Keep going.
You've got to know where this man came from. His own father was orphaned at 10 years old during the Great Depression. He grew up near the poverty line. He and his family ate Spam 3 times a week.
Gross.
He lied about his age just to get a paper out as a kid, and he became the first person in his whole family to graduate from college.
God bless him.
And this is the part that gets me. This dear man lost his wife, and then he lost his son to ALS. His golden years turned gray with grief, and then those giant offers came rolling in. He looked at other CEOs who'd sold out and watched their companies lose the heart and soul they built, and he said, I couldn't bear the thought of that happening. So he protected his employees, kept the culture he built, and made sure his life's work would keep doing good long after he's gone.
This is beautiful.
In his own words, those of us fortunate enough to be in a position to help others, it's really a gift to me that I'm able to do what I do.
Amazing. Hashtag news on that one.
Yes.
That's amazing. Doing it for charity. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's news.
Next up. A hard-won hope, the fight against HIV and AIDS. All right.
Okay.
We're old enough to remember, we all know the letters HIV and AIDS stuck real fear into people's hearts, a time when the diagnosis felt like the end of the road and the whole world seems hopeless against it. So I want you to sit up for once because today we got a report full of genuine hard-won hope. Decades of doctors, scientists, caregivers, and advocates fighting this thing, and the numbers are finally turning a beautiful corner. Here's the news. A special report from the United Nations released over big international AIDS conference in Rio de Janeiro shows that the new HIV infections and AIDS-related deaths are now at their lowest levels in more than 30 years. That's amazing. And it gets better. 7 countries have slashed their new infections by nearly 80% since 2010. And 11 countries have hit what they call 95-95-95 goals, meaning almost everyone living with HIV knows it, is getting treatment, and has the virus controlled to the point that they can live long, healthy lives. But here's the part that gives me chills, Sonnies. The UN says the world is on the cusp of prevention revolution, protection. There are now medicines, the protection so strong it's being compared to a vaccine in one major trial among 3,200 young women who received it. There were 0 new infections, 0, and monthly shots and pills are on the way too.
Yeah, so UNAIDS leader Winnie said that despite enormous challenges, ending AIDS is still within reach. Countries like Brazil, Ethiopia, Uganda, and South Africa are expanding access and negotiating lower prices.
Please end this.
This is huge. I love this.
Please end this disease. I cannot wait. I definitely think this is newsworthy. There's probably
totally
more to
news.
that story too, but it's just so good. All right, news story or story number 3. We have the lens that heals itself. All right, here's actually what's going on here. Scientists over in South Korea have invented a brand new kind of contact lens, and this thing has a superpower. If it gets a little scratch on it, you don't have to throw it away. You just shine some light on it. That's it. Put it under a UV light, and the same kind of light that these little machines that dry your nails or the lamps that people use for their houseplants for about an hour, and the tiny scratches heal. They repair themselves. The lens fixes its own scars good as new. All right, so tell me about some details here.
I see where the story is going. See what I did there?
I love it.
Millions of people wear contacts, right? And you know what happens when you get one tiny scratch or a speck on a lens? It's ruined and it's in the trash.
Right, that's why I don't wear them.
New boxes are expensive. So this invention means one little scratch won't cost you a fortune anymore.
Kind of cool.
Just heal it and keep on going. And think about all the waste. Contacts are little bits of plastic that people throw away by the billions. So if your lenses can heal themselves and last way longer, that's a huge amount of plastic that doesn't end up in landfills. And this is the part that makes me the most excited. It's not about self-healing. These clever scientists also gave it antibacterial coatings that fight germs. It holds moisture better than lenses we've got now, so your eyes don't dry out, and it's tougher too. They literally rubbed it with sandpaper and held it up, so it's healthier, comfier, and longer lasting.
I really like this innovation. I'm going to push that forward.
Did you just say I?
Yes, I did. Now it's time for a little bit of wine. I've been 39.
39, the hidden gem of downtown St. Augustine since 2016. This is your secret getaway to a fabulous time. It's tucked away inside the lobby of the St. George Inn, and this charming spot boasts a courtyard setting that's straight out of a dream at the north end of St. George Street. Their wine collection features over 85 unique gems, is a journey into the extraordinary. You'll find wines from both small and large producers. They're open daily from 8 to 8 and Thursday to Sunday from 1 to 7. You got to check them out. Bin 39.
The heck is going on here?
What in the tarnation?
Hey girl, hey, horrible horoscopes. We got Sagittarius and Capricorn on deck. Sagittarius, you're November 22nd through the December 21st. This is my sister, Shannon.
Uh-oh, Shannon.
Hey girl, hey, adventure calls, and it's a prank call.
Oh, no.
You'll book a spontaneous getaway, arrive glowing, and open a suitcase containing 3 beach towels, 1 flip-flop, and a single mysterious fork. The rental's ocean view is a parking lot. The GPS leads you down a dirt road that dead ends at a farm, and your phone dies at 1%, and a goat approaches with calm confidence of something that has done before. You wanted a story to tell, Sagittarius? Well, that's a story. That's the whole trip. Oh,
God.
actually, my sister would like that. Sounds.
That is a whole trip right there.
She would like that.
She likes to go camping.
All right, Capricorn. This is December 22nd through January 19th. Susan's on deck.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, ambitious Capricorn, you'll deliver a presentation of your life, flawless, powerful, career-defining, and realize afterwards your shirt was inside out and backwards, and the price tag flapping like a little flag of surrender the whole time. This does sound like
We've
Susan.
always been there.
Not,
We've all been there.
not me. Then you'll go to fire off a cheeky private text about your boss and hit reply all to the entire company, CCing the boss twice. The ladder you've been climbing for a decade, girl. The universe just greased every rung, and watch your step. Actually, don't even bother. Yikes, Susan!
Oh, Susan.
And that's a wrap on this thunderous Thursday. We chilled, we thrilled, we laughed, we thrived, and most importantly,
We survived.
that's right, guys.
Yes, we
Hit
did.
that share button. We'll be back tomorrow when the band's back together
Yes.
with Inspo with the Sheem. We love you.
Yay!
Bye,
Bye,
Sunnies.
guys.
Yo, that's the show. Before you go, hit the share. Let the whole town
We
know.
got good vibes. We got some for days. Sprinkle that Sunny in 100 ways.
Tap it, send it, text your crew.
Tell your mama and your neighbors too.